supposed to hear. We're doing pretty good. Hello, folks. Good baseball. Mets took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers. That's big. We have some stuff to talk about runners in scoring position, don't we, Kyle?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Well, maybe. Should I turn my head to where your face cam is or where you are? Because I don't want this. Maybe I should look at the stream. I don't want this to be like an Usher thing where I'm facing towards like the corner the whole time where he does the thing when we
Yeah.
put him in the boxes because I can't see you guys. But yeah, baseball's looking good. What else do we got? Football, we're waiting on that. We talked a little college basketball pre-show, but our CBB guy, he's not quite ready yet.
Still
He's
looking
still
at
trying to
RJ
figure out what
Lewis. Need some
Camden.
more kids. Yeah, KU's probably not making any more
Yeah,
moves for sure. But
I
I
mean,
mean,
Duke's making 5 stars. They go, fuck, you were supposed to go to school next year. Actually, you're going to school this year. Welcome to Camden. I mean, we're just making 5 stars out of the fucking thin air. KU, they're struggling. They're scraping the bottom of their
well, not really.
barrel. But
Well, if you want to say the number one player in the nation coming in of this class coming to Kansas is bottom of the barrel, then sure, we could go that way. But you're right. They have to
certainly how
prove
you talk
themselves this
about
year.
it.
No, I think Darren Peterson's going to be phenomenal at Kansas. I don't think they're going to be. Who knows this year? It's all scratch. We don't know anything about. We know a few of these transfer kids, but it's going to be a lot on Peterson how he shoots. And
That's how someone who was ranked preseason #1 and lost in the second round of the national champion
hey, you
the
can't be
NCAA
always
tournament.
so down on your team. Look, last year was last year, right? That was
Uh-huh.
the time where it's over. Okay,
Yeah.
we thought we were going to be great. We weren't. We ate a lot of words. Took should take all the shit. Sometimes didn't take it better times than others, but now it's a new year, fresh page.
Mhm.
There's no Hunter Dickinson anymore. There's no
Mm.
KJ. It's a new team. There's
No
always
Devon
hope now.
Harris.
Huh?
No Devon Harris.
Right. No Harris. I mean, it's
Mm.
it's a brand new slate for Kansas. I am gonna do some stuff here next week. I do need to get some stuff around. I am really
So the
waiting to see if
preseason #1 team was the problem.
yeah, they sucked.
Okay. Okay.
But actually, the last team that was preseason number one to win a national championship was 2014. I think I've looked at that stat. Like it's been like over a decade.
The UConn.
That was either Kentucky or Duke.
No, it was Kentucky. It was 14.
Kentucky.
It was Kentucky was number one.
Kentucky won.
Yeah, it was
12
Duke ranked
14.
#1
They
that year,
won.
though. Probably not.
I don't know if the.
Sound
Hold on, I need to figure
It's
out.
gotten to the research portion. I guess
Yeah.
I'll talk a little bit more.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah. What else do we got going on? We were talking F1. That's kind of in the swing of things. That's pretty cool. The allergies, the sinuses, they're kind of coming into place. We're getting into spring. It's beautiful outside. Wonderful day today. Good day with the family. Got outside. Go for a walk, folks. Sports, we had a great day for baseball, like I said. Kind of sucks at the whole Memorial Day weekend. Oh, maybe we should mention that. Thank you to all of our
Yeah,
military personnel
absolutely.
who've given their lives for our country. Thanks, PC, for joining us. And yeah, what else is going on? Um, Football season, we're kind of getting into OTAs and stuff. My coaching thing, we got to get into. We got to figure out a lot of stuff. Um, Jesus.
Last time it
And
ranked number one in the preseason to win the national championship was 2008, 2009 North Carolina Tar Heels. So it's been
What?
no, that team sucked
15.
anyway.
Oh yeah,
Years.
yeah.
So anyway, sorry, yeah, I was in the research mode, but yeah, we'll get some stuff going there for that specifically. K-Stel, you want to do your intro since we long-winded P4, but
Yeah, of course. Runners in scoring position. That's big. Big time conversation we're going to get into really quick. Speaking of Memorial Day, we have a new one to mourn. And that is the legendary Phil Robertson of Duck Dynasty has just passed away about an hour ago. One of the
It's tough
greatest
news.
men, one of the greatest men to ever exist, to live. Taught us a lot when we were, I guess, in middle school, elementary school.
yeah.
It really sucks, especially for me. Watching that show, I think I've read maybe 4 or 5 books in my life,
You've definitely seen it 3 seasons of Duck Dynasty.
and out of the 5 books I've ever read in my life, 2 of them have been from him. So that really stinks.
Yeah.
So Phil Robertson.
The 3 were by Dr. Seuss.
So Phil Robertson, appreciate it, man.
Happy.
We're gonna have a happy podcast.
Yeah, he's also a sports guy. What's the sports thing with him?
Ole Miss. Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
He was the quarterback for Ole Miss. Decided to quit. Play.
No, he
or
got
not
hurt.
play, Go Duck Hunt.
LA Tech, you.
Or LA Tech.
Dipshit.
LA
There's
Tech.
a huge difference there.
My bad. LA Tech was
Red,
the
white, and
quarterback
blue.
there, and then Bradshaw was the
Yeah,
QB2.
Bradshaw, he was the
came
backup.
up behind Phil.
Yeah, so we'll get into it here a little bit.
Was an athlete in high school. Robertson All-State football, baseball, and track. Afforded him opportunities. LA Tech. Football scholarship, late 60s. Played first string ahead of Pro Football Hall of Famer Terry Bradshaw. First overall pick of the 1970 draft. We arrived in Tech. Bradshaw caused a media frenzy. Reputation of being a football sensation. From Shreveport, Louisiana. Robertson was a year ahead of Bradshaw, the starter for 66 to 67. Chose not to play at 68.
Dang. Yep. Shout out Phil Robertson, man. Anyways, let's get into it a little bit. We're going to switch the order around a little bit here. Again, we are going to talk some NBA basketball. We know the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals are currently on. But we'll get to that. We kind of feel like let's put it's summertime. It's Memorial Day weekend. It's not the first weekend officially of summer, but it dang near feels like it every year. So let's put that. We're going to talk some MLB with K-Stout, and then we'll go on to some basketball stuff there as well. But I think MLB is starting off now just because it's the main focus moving forward.
Yeah, so records and stuff like that will be next week. I'll have a small little article coming out about. I need to take this out because I can't hear myself back and forth. So yeah, rankings are going to come out next week. Going to see what I had at the beginning of the season. PC, question for you. Out of the Fangraphs, WAR rankings, which is basically like who the best players are in the league. There's 3 guys at the top. Who do you think the top 3 baseball players this year are?
Are these batters or pitchers?
Batters.
Batters. Oh, great. You're asking the MLB guy, too. Booby Witt, for sure. Juan Soto.
Oh, Jesus. You're
And,
0 for 2.
yeah, there's no way I'm going to know it. Freddie Freeman? I have no idea.
Oh, my God.
You're actually 0 for
You got
3.
2 teams right, but you got no players right. I
Dodgers
can
and
name them.
Mets.
You want me to say them?
Yeah, go ahead. Top 3 F4 players.
I think it's going to go Aaron Judge 1, Shohei 2, Pete 3.
You were 1 out of 3, so that was good. Aaron
No
Judge is
way.
number 1. Aaron Judge is
Yeah.
number 1. Jorge Perdomo from the Arizona Diamondbacks
Are you shitting me?
is number 2 out of 2 point. Or no, it is
I don't even know who that is.
it's Pete Crow Armstrong. My bad. Pete Crow
Oh, yeah,
Armstrong
Cody.
is number 2 with like 3 and something WAR, and then Cal Raleigh is number 3. I think
Cal
F
Raleigh's
WAR.
pretty good.
I think they changed their formula and they added outfield defense and like high priority defense, like at like a crazy amount. I think their outs above average stat is like super valued in their rankings for F-WAR.
No way. Where's Pete?
Yeah, I think Pete dropped a bit just because of his like they all.
He's
first
not
of
even.
all,
What? He's
So-
54th in the league.
So get this. So F-WAR, their formula ranks first baseman really badly unless you're putting up Aaron Judge numbers.
Well,
That's-
his OPS is one of only 3 over 1,000.
Yeah, so he apparently, since he had a couple of blunders at first base defensively, it dropped him like 20 points. That's how like ridiculous it is.
Great stats.
Regardless, I don't have any of the rankings, I think, out right now. I think the Yankees are at the top of the AL. Shocker. I think Detroit Tigers are at the top. Tarek Skubal is a beast.
Yeah, the Tigers are also
It's
another in our
ridiculous.
division, but they are kind of fun to watch.
The baseball gods have something coming up for them here in a little bit. Yeah, let's take a look here. Yeah, so the Detroit Tigers. That's so funny. Yeah, go to the wild card real quick. Let's take a look at the wild card. We have some.
Here, I'll share the screen. so you can see this.
That can't be right. Scroll up right there on that.
No, that's right. 2025. I'm on ESPN.
Oh, the wild card. Go to
Yeah,
expanded.
standings.
Go to expanded. Okay. I guess that's a whack way of doing it. Go to the standings again. That's some bull crap. Yeah. So we got the Detroit Tigers up at the top at 34 wins. Yankees have gotten to 32 wins. They did play the Colorado Rockies though. They didn't sweep them though. Surprising. The Mariners are still at 29 and 23. I don't know what's really going on with them. I think they just got George Kirby back. They're doing better than they should, but look at the Houston Astros just kind of sneaking their way on up to the top. The AL Central continues to be really good at baseball. The Guardians are at 29 and 23. The Minnesota Twins beat the Royals in a 3-game series, 2-1. They're 29 and 23. They have 2 games played less, something like that. And the Royals are also at 29 wins, but have 2 more losses. The Royals still cannot figure out how to hit with runners in scoring position. P4 knows a lot about that as well. The Phillies are 2 games up against the New York Mets. The Mets have been in.
Are they on like a 9-game win streak, or did that get snapped?
Yeah, I think they're doing it pretty well. The Mets have been in a lull, if you want to put it nicely. They did
I
get
was
a win
just looking
today.
at it. Pete Alonso, 20 days since his last home run, and 10 days since the one before that. Before those 2 home runs, and he's only had 10 on the year, and we are pretty early. Before that, the longest miss was 5 days. So he's it's a long season, obviously, but he was very hot to start the season. Obviously, Juan Soto still hasn't totally found his foot. I mean, he's playing incredible. He's a top whatever hitter in baseball, but he's just not hitting those really numbers that you would expect out of the $765 million man. Then Frankie, he's a little slow. I mean, he's batting well, leadoff spot, playing good defense. Not more you can ask from him. Pitching staff's what's doing good, but got to hit with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, the rest of the NL East kind of looks poopy. The Braves are still not over 500 yet. They did just get Ronald Acuna back, but that doesn't really seem. Yeah, if you haven't seen his home run, the first pitch he saw coming back from his injury, he hit it 116 miles per hour for like 67. It was something ridiculous. Regardless, the Braves still don't know how to win baseball games, so that's kind of funny. The Nationals are still poop, and the Marlins are still poop. Chicago continues to dominate. They're 11 games over 500. And then, of course, the Cardinals and their Devil Magic are at 30.
Whatever's going on with that.
And 23.
Could have seen that. See if Howard was here. I mean, we didn't even mention. I think Howard is like going in seashell shopping down in Honolulu today. I think
so.
That's exactly what he's looking for. There's some seashells. So.
Yeah, so the St. Louis Cardinals are on some crazy, weird Devil Magic. It's getting to the point of the 2024 Royals Devil Magic. We'll see what happens later in the season, if they want to sell or if they want to buy. They're still kind of in that weird funky area, but we'll see what happens. The Brewers have kind of been poopy this year, not really doing a lot. And then, of course, the Cincinnati Reds can't figure out how to hit a baseball at some times. And then don't even mention the Pittsburgh Pirates. What an awful franchise with an awful ownership group. Paul Skeens is being talked about being traded, which is disgusting, and it just makes me want to vomit in the mouth. The Dodgers are good. Just lost a game today though to the Mets. They're interesting. They're a good team, but they look like they have like the flaws of most other good teams. Like I don't have like people come out and say, "Listen, this team is the greatest team to ever exist," and then
They're
see
8
them
and 8,
play
500 against teams over 500.
What's that?
They're 8 and 8. They're 500 against teams that are over 500.
Yeah, so the Dodgers still have some question marks, but they're still a really good team, and they're still probably going to be the team to be in the playoffs, just because they have 3 Hall of Fame if that makes any sense. San Fran's also doing really good. I still think they're a fake team. The Royals played them, and I didn't really think they were all that special. Their bullpen is really cool, which is nice. The Padres had a really bad lull. Apparently, they got into a fight in the clubhouse. Don't know where that came from. So the fighting Padres are still 29-22, doing the best they can. The D-backs are 20. What does that say? 26 and 27. Man, they can't get over 500. A team full of talent.
Speaking of teams that can't get over, maybe need the double digits.
Yeah, I mean, it just is ridiculous. This Arizona team should be way better than they are. And don't even look at the Colorado Rockies. What a garbage franchise. What a just garbage everything they have. P4, anything else you want to talk about your Mets? Before I briefly mention something Royals.
By the way, the Mets have the least amount of runs allowed on at 172. There's 177, 76. Yeah, in baseball.
Their pitching's really good.
Yeah.
Defense has looked pretty good. The bats just need to get hot at the right times. It's so frustrating. Brett Beatty. Vientos has to hit hotter. Alvarez, he needs to separate himself over Torrens to be the everyday catcher because Torrens is a great catcher. He's a great number 2 catcher. If Alvarez can become the bona fide number 1 catcher every single day and will do day after a night game Torrens, then the Mets are stacked. Instead, you got to start Torrens over Alvarez, even though Alvarez could have better stats if he was put in a position, but you can't put him in a position because he hasn't put up the better stats. Pete Alonso, good, needs to stay hot. Jeff McNeil, he's mad. He's got to do like mushrooms or something. He's like been pissed off for 6 straight games, throwing his bat on the ground and like not quite breaking the bat over his knee, but he's just been like mad playing the position. And he sucked. So it's good if you're playing mad and you're good, but if you're playing mad and you're bad, then you're out of luck, big fella. Pitching looks good. Kyle sent a tweet today that had Chris Bubik as a lower ERA than Kodai Senga, which is fake news. Real Patriots have fact-checked this post and have said it's false. All right, Kyle wants to talk about runners in scoring position, even though the Mets are hitting at least 10 points lower, even though their only RBI with runners in scoring position today was a fielder's choice. Kyle, thank you. Take it over.
Yeah, so runners in scoring position is just kind of like a sour topic for the Mets and the Royals. We don't like to think about it. We don't want to talk about it. We go to sleep.
We also don't want to talk about Genesis Cabrera home runs being sent the day after they happen.
Yeah, we don't want to do all that. PC, have you seen anything from the Royals that you want to talk about?
I've been kind of keeping track of some stuff here. I know they're playing well. I know their pitching is everything. I've really started. I like Miguel Garcia a lot. I've liked him actually at the beginning of this year. I know it's a stupid video game, but I got him in the video game. He's pretty nice in the video game too. So, but he's actually hitting real life really, really well. So he's always nice to see. Salvi, you're just kind of our captain. I mean, he's hitting okay, I guess, but. I don't know. The pitching's really good. They do need. I mean, obviously, let's just say everything that everybody else is saying is they need to score more runs. They don't score very many runs. You're gonna have to hope that the defense and the pitching can hold out where they're only scoring 2 runs. I mean, this year we're kind of thinking we're gonna make a playoff run. We should make it to a decent spot. Especially since last year. You really need that extra bat, and you would think. I thought at first it was going to come from Jonathan India, but he's hitting 220. Really not good. Just hasn't been good all year. I mean, Vinny's playing pretty well now. He's at 295 OPP, I guess. It's okay. But
playing a lot better.
Yeah. It's just like this. Kyle Isbell's actually been pretty surprising at 276. I mean, they just don't have any guys that can hit for like yeah, we don't have any power.
That's kind of it.
We got. If you get lucky, obviously Bobby, then you get Vinny if he's hitting really well, and then Salvi you maybe get something out of every blue moon. But like that's about it for power. And if you're trying to get doubles, you can't. I mean, playing small ball only works if your pitching staff. Thank God our pitching staff has really stepped up this year. But it'll be exciting to see for the next. We still got a long ways to go left. It's not even June yet, so like we got a little time to wait. But it is kind of interesting to see how well the pitching staff is doing.
Yeah, and that's one thing I wanted to mention to P4 about is that as the year progresses, once we get to this Memorial Day mark, when pitching is your dominant factor, such as the Mets and the Royals, that's a World Series winning formula. Like if your team can pitch really well, especially later into the innings, that'll work. Now, bullpens can get better as the season progresses. We've seen it multiple times. You can trade for pieces and stuff like that. But the one thing that can get better is hitting. It's absolutely hitting. And teams that have players that have a track record of hitting really well, and they're just not, normally it tends to shift into the right direction once that season gets to June, late June, July-ish, August. And I think that's what the Mets and Royals are kind of waiting for. And I think it's going to happen. I mean, it could happen right into a Mets and Royals World Series matchup, which me and P4 would have to block each other. We would have to be non-contact.
Nick Howard's phone would be busy.
Yeah, it would be ridiculous. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But Brett Beatty's doing really well for the Mets, which is a good thing. And that's all that really matters right now because I think Juan is going to be better. Lindor is going to get hot to the end of the season. He always does it. Pete's going to be Pete. And if you have the other guys around him just kind of doing their job, don't be anybody but themselves, it's going to be fine. The Royals are kind of in a different position where everyone's kind of in that press situation when the runners are on scoring position. Other than Michael Garcia and probably Bobby and maybe as of lately Vinny, that's when they figure out, I should probably hit the baseball at a pretty high exit velocity instead of trying to hit the thing. I could go into one reason I think the Royals aren't doing it correctly, and that's a totally different. That's almost like another podcast that you need to talk about. But the one good thing is that Jack Caglione is doing really well. I don't know if you heard this, but remember what Brett Beatty was doing in AAA? Well, Jack Caglione got a little bit jealous and decided to do that exact same thing. Is that right now?
Mm-hmm. That's live, yeah.
Oh, wow.
We'll talk about that in just a minute.
Wow, that's crazy. Nick Howard, you jinxed it. Yeah, Jack Caglione has 5 home runs in 4 games in AAA. It's almost like he's playing with the sliders all the way down in MLB regular show. So that's pretty funny. But he probably won't get called up till mid-June at the earliest of the craziest level. So that's kind of baseball right now. Next week we'll kind of have a bit more grip of what's really going on.
What if Mark Canna twists his ankle tomorrow?
Then Cam Devaney will come up and play baseball for the Royals. And Cam Devaney is a guy that nobody knows who he is except for maybe 3 people.
All right, so there's our MLB segment. Thanks to K-Stel for his glorious hard work and commitment he has to the Dude Sports podcast. We have him on that 10-day. He's starting, say, season 2 very strongly. Now I was gonna actually offer him maybe a full season contract, but after that, we're back to 10 days. But let's talk about the other thing that's going on currently, and that is the NBA and the NBA playoffs specifically. We missed last week because I got on a golf course and didn't get online until late. My own fault. I'll take the blame for that one. Host was terrible. It's all his fault. Whatever, right? But we watched the draft lottery happen. the number one prospect and the number one person in P4's heart, Cooper Flagg, was figuring out his destination. And, the lottery is such a great concept, guys. It's like, if you get the worst team and you really suck, like, it's not because you're tanking and it's not because of this or that or whatever. You're just really not good. You could really use a superstar like Cooper Flagg to restart your franchise. The Wizards had the best odds. They end up with pick number 4 out of the top 3 lottery, which is unbelievable. The NBA is so rigged. I'm going to put it out here now. I don't care. But for the Dallas Mavericks to trade away Luka Doncic, like on a random fluke where nobody, to the Lakers, of all places, the Lakers, right? Nico's like, oh, it's just, we want to win now. But we want to get rid of the best offensive player we've seen since, like, Steph Curry. Okay, like that type of player. And he just gave him away for Anthony Davis, who has been hurt all the time, and with Kyrie Irving, who has been known to not get along and, like, leave. Like, he's Kevin Durant. Like, they're two peas in a pod, right? They it's, they get to this team, it's going to work, and it never works, right? But for them to get the number 1 pick after all of that madness and shenanigans going on, and for Cooper Flagg to not only get a good spot, but, I mean, if I'm Cooper, obviously you're happy you get to go in. You're in a really competitive team. However, P4, do you think if you're starting, I know you're in the NBA, so who gives a shit, right? Like obviously you're in the NBA, but would you like to start on a team like the Dallas Mavericks, who have a guy like Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving? Would you want to start on that and be a playoff team and maybe not be the star of that team? Or would you rather be on a team like Washington, where you don't have anybody around you, but you are the guaranteed superstar we're building around you for the next 5 years, guy?
To be a superstar in the NBA, it's not necessarily how many touches you get, right? Because we just saw Luka get traded.
Right.
So, like, there even is superstar trades. And how many superstars are there in the NBA for real? Like, what, Giannis?
There's
LeBron
there's probably
still,
like 15
Curry
to 20
still.
guys
No.
that are superstar level?
No, you're saying like all-star level. Kyle?
5 or 6 probably. Like all-star level.
That's the number that I was kind of
right
thinking.
now. Or not all-star.
Like, you put them on the team, and that's absolutely it. And, like, even some of those guys get traded. We just saw Luka trade. You're asking me would I rather go to a good team or a bad team? Because I think Cooper, I mean, the guys that you just named have literally only been number 2s. They're like good, they're great number 2s. They've both been LeBron's number 2s. Really, Cooper Flagg just got in the best LeBron situation ever. Lively, AD, Kyrie. I mean, fuck, that's like LeBron's 3 wet dreams is like number 2s. Like, are you shitting me?
Yeah, I don't know if, I don't.
No, yeah,
Kyrie's going to want his shots,
Guess
and
what?
he's going to pull
Nico's
bullshit.
trigger finger
AD
is quick.
AD is going to get hurt in the middle of the season.
I bet everything they do.
He's healthy. He's one of the best defensive players in the league, but
Cooper was tearing it up against.
yeah. No,
the
I have no
USA
doubts
team
that Cooper's
last year.
going to be a bona fide superstar.
He's going to separate himself.
Yes.
So exactly, like, he doesn't need to go to the Wizards. Like, what, are you asking him to be LaMelo Ball?
No.
That just sucks.
But I think the Wizards have a better
wait.
franchise than the Hornets, but that's a whole other conversation.
The real question is is Nico the greatest GM of all time? Like, that's the
Probably.
real question.
Probably.
I mean, if you're sitting
Probably had
there,
a conversation. He's like, we really don't like this guy. Will you give us the number 1 pick if we trade him to the Lakers to keep your big market?
This is how it happened.
AD and Kyrie for Paulo.
Here's how it happened. Adam Silver.
Maybe
walked
we can
in.
just get it done with
He
AD.
didn't call. He walked in to Nico Harrison's office with the owners.
Did he fly him out to the NBA office, or did he go to Dallas
He went to
go into
Nico's
his
office.
Wow,
And
in
he
Dallas.
said it probably, when did the trade happen? Around
It was right around,
March?
it was like
March?
March. I think it was February.
February
I think,
something?
like late February.
He came in probably late January and went, Nico, the Lakers, they're my boys. I need them to be good. And LeBron cannot carry this team. They need another guy. And as stupid as Adam Silver is, thinking that putting an offensive player with no defense on one of the worst defensive teams I've ever seen in the NBA.
Dude, he's so marketable, though.
I get that.
Oh, but it's
Sure.
a business.
But
How many
need
jerseys did they
championships.
sell? 77 Doncic jerseys.
I get it. But if Nico Harrison's sitting there and Adam Silver goes, I need you to trade Luka to the Lakers. And Nico, you know what he probably did? No. Probably said, no, there's no way. I can't trade this guy. He's our dude. This is like...
They're both in the West.
Nico
Unless they made
didn't
a
like
deal
him.
to, like,
Nico
trade
hated
these.
Luka.
No, I don't think he did. I
Yeah,
think he...
hated him.
I think Adam
I think
Silver...
he thought he was a fat piece of shit and didn't play any defense, so he wanted him gone.
I think Adam Silver said, we will give you the number one pick.
Yeah, no, I think that happened.
And Nico went...
There was definitely some conversations like behind camera.
Because right now, if I'm Nico, and you say, would you rather have Luka? And I'm not saying that he didn't, love Luka like his wife. But he was probably like, yeah, this guy doesn't play defense. He's a great shot creator, but he doesn't play defense. He's like, I got a guy who does all of that and plays better defense.
It's raw. It's so raw too, so they
And
can
it's-
mold him around.
And he's he's
be their
just
star
one
in
of the
Dallas.
best talents we've ever seen. I'll give him you for
Well-
that. If you trade Luka to the Lakers.
Yeah.
And Nico did it without any hesitation. And you want to know the reason why I know this is real? Because Nico went to the Lakers GM's house and said, I need you to take him. Nobody ever does that. What? We only know why he was doing that because he knew he was getting the number one pick all along.
Yeah.
This is a dude who took some of the most crap any GM could ever take in the history of sports, and he knew all along that he was getting the number one pick. It's the most rigged thing of all time. But you know what? It's perfect. And if I'm a Dallas
It's a great
Mavericks fan,
business move. It's
if I'm a
huge
Dallas
business
Mavericks
move.
fan, I am just blown away. I'm blown away at this.
Nico Harris, you heard it here, folks. K. Stell says Nico Harrison saved the NBA by giving Luka
Saved
Doncic
it.
to the Lakers.
Saved it.
But yeah, we'll see Cooper there. The other big one is the Spurs have the second pick, and then the third pick, I'm gonna say is the Sixers. I think it's the Sixers. So let me fact check myself real quick. Order. Yep, the Sixers. So yeah, the only other thing is that Giannis is definitely on the market this summer, and one of those guys, like a San Antonio Spurs, could trade out of that second pick to the Bucks for Giannis, a package and some picks. I think that's probably coming because I think the Bucks want to get something out of Giannis. They don't want to just let him go to free agency and get nothing for him. So trade him on his last year of his contract. They can go, and if he wants to re-sign with them, that's their problem. But he can get two really good players and probably 2 or 3 picks. And you're going to get that number 2 pick, which is going to bring Dylan Harper to Milwaukee, who is a really good scorer and a playmaker, underrated. There's Cooper Flagg, obviously, but Dylan Harper and his Rutgers teammate. It's slipping my mind right, like literally at this second. Ace Bailey. Sorry, Ace Bailey. Those 3 guys are going to be really good. It'll be interesting to see Ace Bailey if he goes to the Sixers or if the Sixers draft out of that. But yeah, that'll be coming up June 23rd. I will be definitely interested. Some of this off-season stuff I'm going to be really invested in, as I believe my Suns are going to be picked apart. The Vultures are coming in. I think Katie's gone. I think Devin Booker's gone. I think they're shitting the bed, restart, rebuild mode, and we are going to be the Wizards for the next 3 years. But we still have Bradley Beal on a $36 million contract. That's perfect. It's great. Hopefully Devin Booker stays. Don't know. But let's talk about actually what's going on, and that is our Western Conference and Eastern Conference Finals. They are both actually tied at 2-1. We were looking at this end of this Knicks-Pacers game. We saw the Pacers up double digits in the third game. Like, man, are they going to go 3-0 on the Knicks? and then kind of slowly come back, and then about the fourth quarter gets really, really close. The Knicks able to pull it out to make it 2-1. Quickly go through game 1 and 2 again. Game 1, Tyrese Halliburton game. Just a wild shot that goes in at the buzzer. Does the Reggie Miller celebration. Points at Reggie. He's obviously in the building. Great game 1 win. A total collapse for the Knicks. They had that game really easily in the bag, and they just couldn't get it done. Game 2 was the Pascal Siakam game. Pascal had 40 points in that game, which is unbelievable for a guy like Pascal. He's one of the most underrated players in the league. He is an NBA champion, a certified number 2 guy that's going to make whoever around him better. And he did 39. So not exactly 40, but he is doesn't get enough credit, but everywhere they're winners with him on the floor. And then you had obviously game 3 today, where yes, it looked like the Pacers were going to run away with it, and the Knicks slowly came back and ended up taking it at the very end. Karl Anthony Towns had 24 points, 15 rebounds, which is pretty nuts. And then Jalen Brunson had 23, which was also pretty good. The Pacers, Tyrese had 17. He shot okay from the floor. He had 20 points. Pascal had 17, so not as much help from those guys. But that series is definitely the most interesting one out of the two, I feel like. I mean, the other side is obviously interesting, but for a weird way. I don't know. I want to do the dudes just pick. Do you think the Knicks or the Pacers win, and in how many games? I'll give you a second to think. I'll tell you mine real quick.
Who is the league official tonight?
Foster. They initiated a rule where he was able to do back to back.
Oh.
Yeah.
The extender.
Yep, they did the extender. Yep. Okay, so I'll give you guys a second to think. Do you think the Knicks or the Pacers win? Pacers are up 2-1. Game 4 is in Indianapolis. Game 5 in New York. 6 in Indianapolis. 7 in New York. It's going to be really tough. Obviously, this is the close series. Tyrese is honest. Honestly, I think that both these teams were that one step away before last year with Boston, and you could tell that they both took that extra step they needed. It's just going to come down to who's going to shoot the ball better. And, everybody's been kind of doubting Halliburton, but, man, that guy is kind of cold-blooded. He's also kind of – the Pacers are just underrated. And I think they're fast-paced. If you watch them play, they're so quick back and forth down the floor that I think they'll be able to outrun the Knicks. I'm going to take Indiana in 6. I think they're going to win it on their own home floor, taking it 6. But it'll be definitely interesting. Let's go. K-Stel, who do you have? Pacers, Knicks, and how many games?
I really want the Pacers to win. But I think the Knicks may pull it out just because they're way more talented all around. That's it. I get it that the Pacers have... Oh, my Lord.
Sorry, that's the problem with sharing a mic.
The Pacers do play like a NCAA team. Very similar. It's very fun to watch. Overall, their offensive production relies heavily on Tyrese and Siakam and just a bunch of ragtag guys shooting like Klay Thompson. Prime Klay Thompson, of course. He's still in the league. I think the Knicks just have a bit more depth, especially scoring depth. And they're just also taller, and they can out-rebound way better. And I think the Knicks kind of get it in 7. That's what Nick Silver definitely wants.
Mitchell Robinson has been phenomenal. He's grabbed out of every single rebound. He's grabbed 40% in this series.
Yeah, so we'll see.
He is an absolute
I think the Knicks.
beast.
I think the Knicks get it. It'll be sad though. I do want the Pacers to make the finals.
So I'm on the Halley train in 6. He's on the Knicks in 7. P4. You're gonna break the tiebreaker for the Dude Sports Podcast. What are your thoughts and how many games?
Yeah. first of all, I think you're both right. I think if it is in 6 games, it's going to be the Pacers taking it. If it goes to Game 7, I think it's real tough to see the Knicks lose that game, Game 7 in New York. And for that reason, I think I am going to go the Knicks. I
Knicks
think
in
that
7.
this is going to go 7 games, and in Game 7, I think the Knicks are going to win.
So we got 2 Game 7s for the Knicks, and then I've got the Pacers in 6. They've got in 7, excuse me. But the other side of our bracket has the same series tied at 2-1. But this series, dude, has been, like, super weird. Like, it's not weird, but, like, we've had 2 blowouts. Like, Game 1 was a blowout for OKC. They ended up winning 114 to 88, right? Like, terrible shooting numbers for Minnesota. Shea went off, obviously, getting his MVP. But as a team, the Timberwolves shot 34% from the field and 29% from 3. And that's Anthony Edwards had 18 points that day, but shot 5 for 13, and no one else. Randall played well, but none of their supporting cast was able to help. So, easy blowout win for OKC. In Game 2, it was also kind of a blowout. OKC won 118 to 103, and now you're starting to see that you can see how much better OKC's supporting cast has been playing versus Minnesota's. Minnesota's has their Julius Randle, who can go off. They have Ant, obviously, as their number 1 guy. On the other side, OKC, they have Chet, they have Che, they have Jalen Williams, they have Alex Caruso, they've got Lou Dort, who's a 3-baller, and they've got some guys coming off the bench, and Isaiah Jones and Aaron Wiggins. Those guys, but they play like 10 to 11 guys, and all those guys are actually a bona fide bucket getter. So Minnesota just wasn't looking like they're going to be any good. Ant had 32 in Game 2, which is great. Jaden McDaniels had 22 points. Randall didn't play very well. But Shea had 38 that night, and there was no stopping. It looks like going to Minnesota 2-0, you're like, this might be a blowout. They might sweep the Timberwolves. Like, it's not looking good. I mean, you'd think maybe Ant would get 1, whatever. Maybe this was his 1, but this was a 1 if you're going to have a 1 win, because they ended up winning 143 to 101. They beat the number 1 team in the NBA, who beat their opponent by an average of 12 points or higher every single game, and beat them by 42 in the playoffs. I mean, did you see the clip? And I wish I had the clip. Maybe I'll post it on Twitter later. But he is dribbling through 4 defenders, Anthony Edwards, and he is just like gets everybody juked out. Everybody contributed, and you could see how good Minnesota could be if this is how everybody is playing. I mean, obviously you had Anthony Edwards with 30, and you had Julius Randle with 24, but you had a guy named Terrence Shannon Jr. A guy named Terrence Shannon Jr., Kyle. He was on Texas Tech, then he was in Illinois, and then he had a huge scandal. We won't mention too much about that, but he came out innocent, not guilty. But it kind of really hurt his draft stock. And now he is been, for this Game 3, he might be this missing puzzle piece they're really looking for in Minnesota. 19 points or 15 points is really good. I mean, he played outstanding. I know they were up a lot, but he's still a huge help. If they can have some help from those guys, Naz Reid's really, really good. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is also a really good guy off the bench for them. So they've got some shooters. We're going to see, hopefully Game 4 is a clash of like Game 1 OKC and Game 3 Minnesota. So we actually get a really good game out of this series. But it's just kind of a weird series. Let's do the same thing with the dudes. You got to pick, tell me who you think is going to win the series and how many games. I'm going to stick with the number 1 team on this. I'm going to ride the Thunder wave. Shea is really good. Chet is incredible. Jalen Williams is also incredible. That whole team has so many guys that can score the basketball and go off. Like Minnesota has Ant who go off. Julius Randle's an okay guy, maybe once in a while. Jaden McDaniels, very good, can go off as well, but he's very hit or miss. There's one guy on that team where you're like, okay, he's gonna go get at least 25. And OKC has 3 in their starting lineup. At least they go get you 25, if not 30. And the way they've looked, I mean, I know it was game Game 3 in Minnesota, who cares, right? They're like, oh, we're up 2-1, whatever. I'm going to take OKC. I'm going to take it in 5. I think they're going to win 4 and 5 here coming up. I think Ant got his moment, but then I think OKC's going to really lock down on that defensive end. Shout out Big D, Dylan Broughton. He was in our fantasy football. He's a huge T-Wolves fan, actually. Yeah, it's crazy, I know, right? But Timberwolves fan. I'm not going to go with your boys now. I'm going to take OKC in 5. Let's switch up the order here. Let's go. P4, who you got? You got Shea and the OKC Thunder. You take an Ant-Man and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, I really like this Anthony Edwards kid. I think Minnesota's a good team. But I think OKC this year kind of has the secret sauce, and I think they're going to win in 5 or 6 games.
Cool. Yeah, so P4 is definitely riding the train, 5 to 6 games. It's looking good. K-Star, are you going to hop on the wagon with us, or are you going to go to the dark side and join Ant-Man? You're going to let the whole Minnesota fan base that we would love to have, Minnesota guys, want to come out here and start talking with us on YouTube. Go follow us on YouTube. But are you going to join that train, or are you going to hop on with obviously the best analysts we have here at the Dude Sports Podcast?
I don't want any Minnesota fans coming and talking to us because I don't want to hear them talk about the Vikings. I don't want to hear them talk about the Minnesota Twins. Their city has a bunch of poverty. I don't think they've won a championship in anything since the 90s. So I don't want to hear them talk about anything. Which means I'm going to go with the OKC Thunder. Listen, I get it. Shea, his style of ball is kind of goofy, but it fits the NBA. It's the NBA. That's all it is. And
you can't be mad at him for finding the loophole to get.
Yeah,
fouls.
I mean,
you can't.
he
That's the game. Why you take it out of the game if you don't want it that way?
He saw what Braun did, and he's doing it, and he's doing it at his prime. And other than him flopping, he does everything else really well. So, yeah, complain about it all you want. I've done it before just because I'm a little delusional sometimes, and I'm okay with that. But these guys are the best group of basketball players I've ever seen. This is basically what the Baltimore Orioles were trying to do, and they failed miserably. And the Oklahoma City Thunder are doing it at the highest degree, and I think they're going to win the entire thing. I don't think they're not just only going to win out in this conference final. Whoever they play in the East, they have no chance.
So K-Stelt's going right here live on OKC. P4, your live would be OKC Knicks. Would you have OKC or New York?
I think you got to go with the Knicks.
Knicks down and coming, bringing the hardware back to New York. I am also going to join the OKC bandwagon. I think OKC. Mine would be OKC Pacers. I don't think the Pacers have enough to beat OKC. So I'm going to take OKC as well. So something to look forward to definitely as we go down the wire here. We will probably know who's in the NBA Finals at that point. Next episode, I'm pretty sure I'm trying to figure out when. It just depends on when are Game 7s. Game 7s will be Saturday and Sunday of next week. It'll be so Game 7 would be Sunday night at 7:00 for the Knicks, and then Monday if we need a Game 7, the June 2nd. So we'll be right there towards the end, looking towards the NBA Finals. We didn't really have a lot. We've got some UFC. I know there wasn't a card this weekend. But we can look a little forward if you want. There's got Sugar Sean coming up in 2 weeks. I know the dudes are excited about that fight. We don't have to go into too big detail. I know Barber is next week. We want to look at that card real quick just to kind of see maybe some fights we may want to watch next week. Just keep your eye on, just maybe see a nice knockout or two. But yeah, P4, take it away.
Yeah, so we didn't get a chance to recap
Burns
Morales. Burns Morales, this is a pretty good Apex card as far as Apex cards go. We did have some bets that we wanted to talk about. So these were the Dudes in Sports official picks. We'll go through it fast. We had Pennington by decision. We got that correct. Pinheiro, yeah, I mean, I kind of forget now. I'm back on this week's with Barber, and then obviously a lot of research into 317. But we had Pennington, and that was correct. Haesung Park, he's a pretty good fighter. He got the first round submission against Carlos Hernandez, who may be out on the flyweight division. But a good fight here, Haesung Park. We did have him as well. We also had him in Not to Go the Distance, and we had him in our locks parlay. Ellis Reed, Denise Gomez, or Gomes. We had her as well. We had Won't Go the Distance as well, and we had her as well. So KO 30 seconds into the second round. She also got a Performance of the Night bonus. Congratulations to her. Luana Santos, she won over Lisboa. I believe we had Lisboa. Yep, one of our first loss on the card, one of our only losses. Luana Santos, great fighter. Probably looking back, should have went with her. Was trying to go for the underdog here pre-fight. But Santos, good fighter, and women's bantamweight's going to be wide open pretty soon. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. Yair Del Valle versus Connor Matthews. Connor Matthews didn't look like he belonged in a UFC cage. But Yair Del Valle is very good. We had him in our locks. We had him in Won't Go the Distance. And yeah, that one did go the distance. So we had him. Incredible fighter. So we'll see what they do with him in the featherweight division. It is kind of crowded, but he can get a pretty good fight towards like low unranked guys. Maybe like a Sadiq Youssef, who was earlier on this card, later in this card, lightweight, featherweight, I guess. But yeah, we'll see what they do with him. Good fighter though. Jared Gordon beat Thiago Moises by KO. I believe we had this. Yep, we had Jared Gordon. We had him by decision, but the KO was pretty good. This was a pick'em fight heading into it. Gabe Green versus Mateus Camilo. We had Camilo, Gabe Green with the second round submission. Yeah. Then we work our way into the main card. Julian Erosa versus Costa.
That was
Costa
a really good fight.
Very good fight.
Really good fight.
It's a great fight. He's a great fighter. Costa, he's working his way up. I believe he's on a 4-fight win streak. We saw him in UFC Seattle. Heavy favorite, but fight of the night. Julian Rosa belonged in the cage, featherweight, but Costa, incredible. I'd like to see him get a ranked featherweight bout coming up. Dustin Stolovitz versus Nursultan Ruzabayev, the Uzbekistani. He got the unanimous decision win. He was actually minus money for a knockout or to finish the fight, and he didn't do that. So and middleweight is a division that maybe has some openings coming up in it. Obviously, we have Paulo Costa coming up, and all these guys who will maybe start falling out of that kind of top contention spot. So Ruzabayev does have a chance there, but getting decision victories against guys like Dustin Stolovis is not the way to do that. Sadiq Youssef took on Marion Santos in the lightweight division.
Youssef didn't even look like he belonged.
No, and he's kind of one of those guys we talk about,
right?
gatekeeper. Yeah, and he is a good fighter.
Yeah.
But Santos, he's really good. I believe he's... Can we see his record easy from the UFC fight? Yeah, 17-1.
That was his first good. UFC, or is it second UFC?
Yes, it looks like second, but this may have been a Contender Series fight.
Yeah, he was really fun to watch. He was very good.
UFC Fight Night against Colin Olfey. But, yeah, Marion Santos pretty good. Takedowns 1 of 3, didn't even attempt one. Total strikes, significant strikes.
He just
it's just stand and bang. Yeah, and Youssef just wasn't throwing much.
That sucked. That was really terrible. I saw that in the middle. Right in the middle of it. They're like, oh, sorry guys, we're not doing this because Bellato's camp's like, he's a no-go.
Herpes. Lotto had herpes.
This
So,
might be this Michael Morales might be one of my new favorite fighters. That guy
he's pretty good.
beats the brakes off of people.
Yeah, and
I mean, Gilbert's not on a losing streak, but still, like, he beat the brakes off of him. It wasn't even close.
he had some good fights. I mean, Brady decision went 3 rounds with Della. Went a decision with Muhammad. Beat Burns. Beat Bagney.
I mean, he's been good. I just feel like now he's just kind of a little too old. He's the gatekeeper.
Yes. But I do agree with you, Michael Morales. Performance of the night, obviously. First round KO. He's pretty good.
Yeah. He's going to be
He's
fun.
pretty good.
Are you going to go look at the standings? Where is he at? Where are we looking for him?
Oh,
I can't even remember what weight he's in.
well, it's welter.
Yeah, welter. So where would be a good matchup next?
He's
for him?
8.
So he's 8.
He's just outside. So we're going to see Usman versus Buckley next. Shavkat maybe fights for a title. Sean Brady maybe fights for a title.
I mean, Ian Machado Gary's there, but Machado Gary's kind of looking to maybe fight an Edwards or a Sean Brady. I don't know if they'll do It'd be cool to see him fight Usman, but I know he's fighting Buckley.
I mean, Islam's getting the next title shot.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It is a log
for sure.
jam right here in
Yeah, it's just like, that's what sucks about those. I mean, I get it why they do it. They jump
these Colby,
weights like that,
Gilbert
but it
Burns,
sucks.
Jeff Neal, Stephen Thompson. Look at all these guys are just getting pushed down, and they're just putting guys right above them.
Yeah.
Michael Morales, okay. Carlos Prates, he's going to go right there. Carlos Prates versus Michael Page, maybe in the works.
That's what we were talking about that earlier, like 2 weeks ago. I think that'd be a phenomenal fight.
It's pretty cool.
I would like to see Prates. I really want to see him bounce back after the Machado Gary KC. He didn't. It was short notice, and it is what it is. But I mean, yeah, he didn't look like he didn't belong, especially in the 5th round.
Up next, we have another Apex card: Blanchfield versus Barber. Dos Santos, Adeline, Oki, Jordan Levitt, Gustafson, Macy Chason versus Caitlin Vieira. That should be a good women's bout. Oban Elliott makes his return. Dustin Jacoby. Gamrot, that's a good fight.
Yeah, Gamrot's
and then Aaron
cool.
Blanchfield versus Macy Barber. Blanchfield's the favorite. That's really all I gotta say about this. And then coming up, we got Diva Shelley versus O'Malley 2. This is a pretty cool card. This is going to be in the Prudential Center. Last time Kevin Holland was in the Prudential Center, he got a submission over Olachechki. So should be a good fight. We'll talk about this next week more so. We'll do some research. We'll let you guys know who to bet on, who not. Final out of last week, we've got 1, 2, 3 losses on the parlay out of 12, -1 for the fight that was canceled. And then out of the locks, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6, out of 7 minus the one that was canceled. And out of the won't go the distance, we had 1, 2, 3 out of 4 out of 5 with the one that was canceled.
Not bad.
So, not bad. Not bad. We did make some money this weekend. We made money for this weekend, or I guess for last weekend. We made money for the weekend, but we are still minus on the last couple of weeks. So we're looking to turn it around. Blanchfield may be it, but I'm thinking this 316 will do pretty good. So that does it for UFC. Thank you, folks. What else we got?
Nothing. I mean, I was gonna kind of just do last final thoughts. We had another kind of short episode because Howard is doing Howard things. We're trying to get this finale in. Once we get Howard back on, we'll hit that finale, and then we'll start a new season with him or without him. But he might be spinning another wheel. That would be love. I would love to see that again out of Howard. I'm hoping he would get something that would really just make sure he stops missing podcasts. But you know what? When you're out there saving the turtles and finding seashells in Hawaii and all that, what are we gonna really do? So, but yeah, let's go around the wheel again. Say their final goodbyes. Let's start off with K-Stel. What's your final words to the people?
Hit with runners in scoring position.
At this point, the Dodgers just bring in Royals DFAs so they can get the secrets on how their pitchers don't get upper body injuries throughout their season. It's not even a take at this point.
It's true. They did it with Jordan Lyles, a couple other guys. I mean, it's very obvious. The Dodgers do not need Chris Stratton. They do not want him to pitch. If he can't pitch for the Royals, he cannot pitch for the Dodgers. And we know why he's in there. And they're just trying to figure out how the Royals can pitch so well and not get injured. That's it. That's my take, I guess. Go Pacers. Go OKC.
Go y'alls.
Wait,
P4.
Did we not see the comment?
No, I didn't see a comment.
Wearing my dudes in sports inspired G-string while watching this makes it hit so much harder. Thank you, damp butthole.
That's a
being
great
shot.
comment.
No way.
Yeah, we got to do that a little bit more. But usually we have 2 streamers. We have screens. We've had this streaming on this thing. But we appreciate the comments. We'll take any comments, any type of exposure. P4, main man for Way Out West. What's your final words to the people?
Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. We try to maybe we'll start doing. I was talking with Kyle and obviously PC needs to be a part of this. Maybe we'll do a couple like short content videos of like, cause like these fucking bullshit guys all over the place who are making these videos who aren't funnier than us. They don't know as much about baseball as us. They don't know as much about any sport as us, and they're making all this money.
Yeah.
And I paid for this chair. Kyle's asking people to pay for his chair. He's sitting in a camping chair right now. I think he's sitting on.
I don't know.
Yeah, when he goes over to Moneybag's house, he's got a chair to sit in. But when he's at home, he's in a camping chair. Come on, we gotta up the production value of this.
For sure.
I want like a throne. I think we can do some cool stuff here, so we'll do some short content videos. I'm working on figuring out how to do anything on a computer that doesn't involve pressing a turn on button. So we'll figure that out. But you gotta like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, show your families. Hey, family barbecue, right? Tomorrow, everyone's got the day off. You're hanging out. Hey, put on an episode of Dudes in Sports. Be like, hey guys, you guys want to know what happened 7 weeks ago?
We're on top of our sports.
Yeah. So, yep. Yeah. I think that's it. Go Mets. I mean, Kodai Senga's killing it. Brett Beatty. Oh, Brett Beatty. Soto worth every penny.
All right.
And, goodbye, folks.
That's going to do it for the Dude Sports Podcast. Maybe for Way Out West, already said it. Like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We appreciate anybody that stops by. If you're hanging out with us for the entire time or just 10 minutes, we enjoy it. We